I always thought the house I grew up in was just an ordinary, albeit slightly creepy old house. It had the usual creaks and groans of a century-old building, but nothing ever seemed out of the ordinary. That is, until last summer when I returned home after a decade away. My parents had passed, and it fell to me to sort through their belongings and prepare the house for sale. It was a bittersweet task, filled with memories both cherished and forgotten. The first few days were uneventful. The house was just as I remembered it, but then I found the door. I was in the attic sorting through old boxes when I noticed a strange seam in the wall. At first, I thought it was just a crack, but as I ran my fingers over it, I realized it was the outline of a door. It was well hidden, almost as if someone had gone to great lengths to conceal it. My curiosity piqued. I set about prying it open. Behind the door was a narrow staircase, descending into darkness. I hesitated, a chill running down my spine, but I couldn't resist the urge to explore. I grabbed a flashlight and made my way down the steps, the air growing colder with each step. At the bottom, I found a small, windowless room. Dust covered every surface, and the air was thick and musty. The room was empty, save for an old wooden chair and a table. On the table was a stack of yellowed papers, tied together with a piece of string. I picked them up, noting the dates on the top sheet, 1923. The papers were a journal, written by someone named Margaret. As I read, a sense of unease settled over me. Margaret's entries started out normal enough, describing daily life and the struggles of living in the house. But as I continued, her writing grew more frantic, more desperate. She wrote of hearing voices at night, whispers coming from the walls. She wrote of seeing shadows move on their own, and of feeling an oppressive presence watching her. She mentioned the room, referring to it as the Forgotten Room, a place that was never meant to be found. One entry, dated just a few days before the journal abruptly ended, stood out. Margaret wrote, "I can't take it anymore. The whispers have become screams. The shadows have faces. They watch me, they follow me. I can feel them in my mind trying to break me. I tried to seal the room, but I know it's too late. They're coming for me. God help me, they're coming." I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the cold air in the room. I put the journal back on the table, my mind racing. Who was Margaret? What happened to her? And what was this room? Over the next few days, I became obsessed with finding answers. I scoured the house, looking for any clue about Margaret or the room, but found nothing. My sleep was plagued by nightmares of shadows and whispers, and I started hearing things, faint murmurs, just at the edge of hearing. One night, as I lay in bed, I heard the whispers clearly for the first time. They were coming from the attic. I got up, heart pounding, and made my way to the hidden door. The whispers grew louder as I descended the stairs, until they were a cacophony of voices, all speaking at once. In the Forgotten Room, the air was frigid. My breath misted in front of me as I stepped inside. The shadows on the walls seemed to move, writhing and shifting. I picked up the journal, hoping to find some clue I had missed. As I flipped through the pages, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. Suddenly, the door slammed shut, plunging the room into darkness. My flashlight flickered and died, leaving me in complete blackness. Panic set in, and I fumbled for the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers became screams, and I felt something cold and clammy brush against my skin. In the darkness, I saw them, faces in the shadows, twisted and tormented. They surrounded me, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. I could feel their anger, their pain, their desperation. They reached out, their cold fingers grasping at me. I don't know how long I was in that room. Hours? Days? Time lost all meaning. Eventually, the door creaked open, and light flooded in. I stumbled out, gasping for air, my mind reeling. I fled the house, leaving everything behind. I never went back. I couldn't. I sold the house as is, to a developer who planned to tear it down. I don't know what they found, or if they even bothered to look. All I know is that the shadows still haunt me. I see them in the corners of my vision, feel them watching me. The house may be gone, but the Forgotten Room and its tormented souls remain, forever etched in my memory. And every night, as I lie in bed, I hear the whispers, growing louder, reminding me that some doors should never be opened.